Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. Here is your tarot reading for the week ahead. When I was laying down the cards for you this week, I was going, yes, amazing, brilliant. And then there was this final, oh. So that might be the feeling of the week in general. That's not to put a downer on it. That's not to throw water over the fire, so to speak, but rather just a reminder, perhaps not to get too carried away, assume that you've got this one in the bag. It's more about just gently reminding that that contrast between things going right and a little bump doesn't feel quite so drastic. Again, this is more to do with a fly in the ointment or a dot on the page or a little bit of ink in the water, however you want to describe it. It's not a big thing, but just your perception of it might make it bigger than it needs to be. Therefore, there's a real reminder this week of don't focus on what hasn't worked, only focus on what is going well. Don't allow things to get spoiled. For example, bit of a silly example, but we may have cooked the most delicious meal. We spent hours and hours and hours on it, and we've invited 10 people to come to the dinner table, and 9 out of 10 people go, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. It's delicious. And then you've got the one at the end goes, I've had better. And what we tend to do, it's the human condition. We focus on that one person. We zone in on the negative. Please do not do that this week. There is absolutely no need. It's all looking so wonderful. Do not let the devil get the better of you. I think there's a bit of a common conception of, if you ask somebody what their best day of their life is, they can sometimes struggle. But if you ask them what their worst day of their life is, they can normally answer quite quickly. And please, please, please don't do that. It's interesting, as we've got this new moon in Aquarius, there's quite a lot of emotional stuff coming up, a lot of emotional independence that is required. Therefore, there's this feeling of your emotions playing tricks on you, and there's just no need to. I'm going to summarize your other 4 cards quite quickly, just because they feel so great, and they're pretty much indicating the same thing. So we've got the King of Wands, the 3 of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. This is all about your vision, particularly with the King of Wands, those ambitions that you've been placing, those things that you've wanted to do this year, starting to come to fruition quite quickly. Probably quicker than maybe all of the star signs put together. There's a lot of financial considerations that have been happening, not only this week, but just in general. And I feel that these will be themes that play out for the rest of the year across the board. I was about to say for whatever reason, but that's not strictly true. Being Taurus, you're quite practical. You can at times be quite grounded and sensible with money, and that's going to pay dividends, pun intended, for you. Not only this week, but moving ahead. There's a real sense of you perhaps having more, being more realistic with your financial landscape than most others. There can be a tendency for other star signs to bury their head in the sand or not face facts. And I'm really pleased to say that you've got a really good handle on work, on career, on health. Okay, these things might not be going brilliantly right now, but there is a real sense of you taking the necessary steps in order for it to be good in the long term. You are not doing this place of avoidance, so you should be congratulating yourself on that. You've got the 10 of Pentacles, which is the Lord of Wealth. It's manifest, it's Malkuth. So again, it couldn't be better, particularly with that King of Wands. So we've got the vision, and we're doing the work and the effort to make that vision a reality. So don't allow anything to encumber or inhibit your wishes and your dreams, particularly the devil. You will find this week that there are either people that say, not necessarily unkind things, that it might just be a throwaway comment that they don't even think about, but we take it more to heart than we need to. Or even worse, we allow it to dissuade us from that vision that we may have. There was a wonderful quote that I heard the other day, that all visionaries have their work criticized in the beginning. I thought that was absolutely brilliant and very, very true. And you may find that you're in that camp this week, Taurus, that some of those ideas, some of those plans that you have for yourself, other people may boo-boo, and you just pay them absolutely no heed. That might be other people, but it may also be that rain may fall on the best laid plans. If you have put in the time, energy, and effort to make things work and they don't work out immediately, do not take that as a symbol or a sign that they're not going to work indefinitely. Give yourself some credit, give yourself a pat on the back for putting in that time and energy. For me, there's nothing wrong with what you want to do next. So if you're finding that there is self-doubt appearing here, if you're finding that other people are dashing your plans or circumstance seems to be dashing your plans, don't pay too much attention to it, because you've got this. It's absolutely fine. You've got the vision. You're grounded enough to make it happen. There's just going to be these inevitable bumps. Success is more about how we deal with failure rather than just assuming that everything is going to go our way. So all good. If there's a little bump, if there's a little drawback, laugh. Just laugh in the face of adversity. It's all you need to do this week. So short but sweet this week for you, Taurus. If you want more, if it was a little too short for you, then read the comments below to discover how to get your rising sign and your moon sign. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I'd love to know if this was helpful or there are any requests for next week. But until next week, I shall say goodbye. Have a great week. Bye for now.